So I've never fully explained to you yet what it is we do when we get a positive or a negative value all the time that we've done multiplication. And I think it's a little bit wrong to keep going any further without explaining that. So I will do that in this lesson. So let's go about doing this explanation. And the first thing that I want to do before I start my explanation is give you a definition of something positive and something negative. Positive, I will use the definition of going along in the case of doing something positive. Or I can say going with. That's what I can mean by something positive. Something negative, I am going against. So I'm going against when I'm negative, I'm going along or going with when I'm positive. Let's now draw a number line. And I'm explaining how it is that I draw number lines the way I do. Number lines would usually start at a 0 point and they will go to the left and to the right. To the right, we have positive values. To the left, we have negative values. Now, the reason we say that positive direction is this way and negative direction is this way, it's because we read from left to right. So if something is going from left to right, we are going in a positive direction, we are going along with. If we are going from right to left, we are going against the normal direction, which is going from right to left. Now, let's consider the example. Let's say, for instance, I have positive 2 multiplying by positive 2. Now, you don't usually put the positive sign in front of a symbol when you're multiplying it. The only symbol you would put is the negative. But in this case, since I'm using the explanations, I am going to put the positive. Let's define each of the terms inside of this inside of this that I just wrote here. Let's say positive going along with 2, that is the number of steps. Multiplication, that is the operation that we're performing. Positive, we are going along with, and this 2 on this side is the number of times. T-I-M-E-S, times. So when you multiply, what you do is you always start at the 0 point. After all, multiplication is just a simple way to add things up or to count things. So you always start from 0 when you're counting. Let's go ahead and look at this again and we will see. We're starting from the first one and going along. So the positive sign, I am going along with the normal direction. Going along with is this direction. So I am facing that direction. I am stepping 2 times, or should I say I am stepping 2 spaces. So 2 spaces I am stepping while I am going along. Now again, I am doing that, multiply, I am doing that by going along in that direction twice. Okay, so I'm stepping 2 times and I'm doing that twice in the direction that I am facing. That's basically what this positive sign and this positive sign says. I am going along with the normal convention. I am facing in the positive direction. And this positive sign here is saying, okay, well, if you're going along in that direction, then that is the direction that you're moving in at the same time. So I'm going along, or I'm going with. Let's now look at the result that we get. We get a positive 4. Okay, now that we've understood that, let's change up some of the symbols that we have. So I'll get rid of all of these. I'll get rid of this here, this. I'll just get rid of the whole thing and we'll just fix it from beginning again. Now let's look at the 2. Let's say, for instance, I have a negative 2 multiplied by a positive 2. Just using the same numbers so you could get the idea. So I am facing in the negative direction. Okay, then that means I am facing that direction. I am going against the normal convection, right? That direction I'm facing. Now I have 2. That is the number of steps. I am stepping 2 times. And now I reach the positive symbol. Positive symbol, I am going along with the direction you are stepping in. Okay, you're going along with the direction I am stepping in. So that means I am going 1, 2. That's my first step. This number here tells me about my second step. So I am going 1, 2 a second time. Notice I end up at the negative 4. Now let's go with the 2 negative symbols. The same exact result would come out if I were to switch these around. If I switch these around and I have here a positive and a negative switching the positions, it will still give me the same negative 4. Now let's go along with the 2 negative symbols and we will see what it is we get. Oopsie, whole number line gone. Put this back. Alright. Now, let's say we have negative 2 multiplying by negative 2. First off, we start symbol, direction we are facing. Okay, we are facing in this direction. We are not going along with, we are going against. We are facing in that direction. 2, number of steps I am going to take. Times. How many times am I going to do it? I'm going to do it twice. But the negative symbol in front of here tells me I am going to go against the direction that I am facing. So I am already facing this direction here. To go against that direction means I have to walk in this direction. So, okay, I am facing this direction and I am going to go against in the opposite direction. Going against here means that I am going to go from 0, 1, 2 times, and I end up at 4. You can also think of this as somebody walking. If you look at this as the direction you are facing and look at this as how you are walking, you'd be able to figure it out. For example, this one here states that I'm facing this way. This here says that I'm walking backwards. So, okay, if I am facing this way and walking backwards, then that means I will eventually end up from here all the way going along this side. Let's say, for example, we do it the other way around. Alright, let's say we do it the other way around. Positive, positive. Then I am facing this direction and I am going along with that direction. So, now that you understand why it is that a positive and a positive multiplying together will give you another positive, and a negative multiplying by each other will also give you a positive, and you understand now that a positive multiplied by a negative will give you a negative, and a negative multiplied by another positive value would give you a negative, you can see where I get my smiley faces from.